It's a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld Today. I'm B Ron. Alongside me is the man who loves Fridays himself, Yells. Good morning, man. Happy Friday. How you
Only
feeling?
only second of Mondays. Only second of Mondays. And like I was telling you earlier, I was listening to a song, got me going this morning. Words of
Hmm.
advice from the man, the illmatic, Nas himself.
Legend.
Hope you woke up this morning and got yourself a gun. That's
Hey,
it.
good advice. Good advice, man. Look, we got some games to go over. We got some games happened yesterday in SimWorld Prep. Let's start going over a little bit of those, shall we? The first one being the early game, 12 o'clock game, the game between SimWorld South America and SimWorld Europe. Turned out to be a really good game, better than I think some people expected. So you're looking to stay undefeated in this one too.
Absolutely, and we're not going to tip that off here, but what we will tell you is Andre Ivanov and Ty Merker were out there looking like one hell of a tandem. We saw Eric Banks getting it going early. He finished with 11 points. South America has some athletes on its squad, man. I'll tell you that they have some big
Yeah.
time athletes between Washington De Brito, Jaime Luis Donoso. Make sure I'm getting these names right, and
Okay.
DeCosta. And let's not forget
Yeah, Costa Sampaio. Sampaio and
Sampaio. Yep.
yep, and I like the new big they got too, Tyler Montalvan.
Yeah,
I like
he's
him a lot too.
look at that move. That kid's 7'2", doing making. Yeah, that's just incredible. And look, as we look here,
Absolutely.
Soam was up 6 points in the third quarter, and I mean this was a hotly contested game throughout, over and over. There you see Ty Merker going to work, V-Ron. Um,
Yep.
but later in the second half, you start to see more and more of the pick and roll from Ty Merker and Andre Ivanov. Andre really good at sealing his man there, and he would get the switch on that every time, as we see
Ooh.
DeBrito going to the rack. But he would seal his man there. They see them get out on the break as well. They just seemed like Europe got all the easy buckets.
Yeah.
Oh, the Ivans. The flying Ivans. You got Ivan
Ryan
Sislov.
Ivans. I
Yeah,
like
he
that.
finished with 10 points. He was the second leading scorer right behind uh, Andre Ivanov, excuse me. And then we see Tyler Montalvan going to work there. People are saying maybe he should get a little more action. Big man went down to South America to be the focal point of a team. He's not a
Yeah.
huge, offensive bad kind of guy, but he's got a hell of a game. We see him
Yeah.
here. So him got totally lost on defense here, B-Run.
Yeah, absolutely lost. Not sure what happened there.
And you see Europe with a 8 point lead at this point. They finally start double teaming Andre, but he's rolling at that point. Just too small. Just
Don't
too
matter.
small.
Don't matter. Double them all you want. Good luck. Like here, South America trying to fight back in this one, and that three goes, and it's a 4 point game, so they're still in it by every sense of the word. They didn't let up
Yep.
their fight in this one at all.
And there's some hustle. I mean, there's some dog hustle. That's what I like about South America. They've looked so scrappy there. You see the tie up, the smaller on the big. We got a little Sampaio over
Little
Zodorn,
Sampaio.
too. Throwing it down, man. That dude has some ups. It's a 2 point game at that point. It continued. And you see more Andre Ivanov, though, as he commands a double team. Jose Angel Camacho with three from the corner to put him up 5. And long story short, is we see Ivanov's head cut off there. That's pretty funny there. He went to town, B-Ron.
He really
24
did.
points, 6 boards, 3 assists.
Yep.
And honestly, he played. I would say he played even better than what his stats shows, because what it does not show is how he commanded the double team if he got single coverage. But
Yep.
even more so on the pick and roll between him and Ty Merker, who Ty Merker ended up with 8 assists in the game. Making sure I get my stats here. Like I said, he did really good job of sealing his man and showing on the way to the basket. Those are those basketball fundamentals that collegiate teams and pro teams love.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and everyone's gonna be looking for more of that as these continue to grow their game and that stuff too. Because Merker's a newcomer, Ivanov's a newcomer. There's a lot of new faces on both of these teams coming into SimWorld Prep, and with the win, SimWorld Europe is still undefeated,
Yep.
and the undefeated list has continued to shrink
Yeah.
through the course of the day, which we'll get to more of those here in a minute. But Europe again, 66-57 win. But next one up here, it's Gotham 5 taking on Run DMV. Battle of the winless teams here, both looking for their first win and running in the run and gun. Running gun arena here. They're moving and trying to get themselves going. Both teams are, and Gotham came out firing.
Magier came out firing. Magier looked like looked like he's finding his place on the team. We talked about them needing to define number one, and he definitely came out and looked like that defined number one early. He finished with 19 points. Him and Mugen Williams, those two brothers look like the clear 1-2 punch. Oh, that's a good block there.
As they should be, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we see Cam Jones.
Oh my
Mugen Williams says, "Hey
man,
aren't you from Houston?" He sends that thing all the way back to the H, and then from there it looks like Cam Jones said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna still come in the rim. You're still not gonna stop me from attacking the rim." So some real good resilience there. But Gotham was up 15-9 here in the first to close the first quarter, and B-Ron, they did it with defense. You see there, Run DMV getting the 12 there, trying to close out the first quarter. But before we even really get to what went on here, is Pinkard with a big-time contested three over Carter Cash.
That's a tough shot, man.
That is. Both of these teams showed they showed capability here. Yes, they're both winless, but I think G5, look at that, Keith Singleton. Man, that dude is a dog on defense.
He had a really good game last night.
He always does. Oh, there's excellent. Look here, JV on deck with the two-way play here with the block, and then goes on to finish. Shows you a little skill. Heralded. Both of these teams, though, B-Ron showed me what they're all about. They showed me that they can play quality basketball. It's a big-time shot there. Run DMV, scrappy. They're getting mashed right here. You look at that score. They're down 13. But the game, that's why they play the game. The game is not over. It looks like Gotham has this one well in hand as we see another putback. Offensive rebounds was a theme here. Mugen Williams was on those boards. He hammered that one home. So was defense again as Magier Williams with the steal and the jumper.
And the step back, man.
Yeah.
Signature from him at this point.
But hey, we see Run DMV, or Walk DMV, as Rick calls them. Look at that move, man. Charles Pinkard been working on that game. We see them down as many as 16, but they proved Rick wrong in my opinion here, if you see, because they're about to show some real resilience. You'll see here in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely, it did. They really did, and this was really, I think, the best game that they've played so far.
Right, despite the loss.
Exactly. Spoiling the outcome here a little bit, but yeah, despite the loss, they the best game they played. Really, best game both these teams played.
The look away, Carter Cash.
That's one of those shots where you just know it's good. If you do something like that, you better make it, right?
Yeah. So we see here, you see that Run DMV's kind of climbing back here. Yep. Now they're down 2, and they made this big run on the heels of defense where you said they could not deal with bigs. They got really big. We saw, look at that shot there. We saw VJ George make some huge plays coming in a moment. Kendarius Rumpf got a few things in there. And then we see a steal. Keith Singleton yet again. 21 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. What more do you want from him? What more do you want from him? He was responsible for 32 of Run DMV's 72 points, one way or another. And then defensively, he was getting it done as well. He got crossed right there, though, B-Ron.
Everybody's going to get one of those at some point in the game. So it's just bound to happen. That's just nature of the sport.
Yeah. Still a big chance for them to come back here, but Magier Williams seals the deal on a big step back jumper. They get it done on the defensive end on the other side, and G5 picks up their first win of the season, B-Ron. A tough one, a very hard fought one. What's your final takeaways on this one?
Again, both these teams, they were looking for a win, and what I liked about this one in particular is that both teams made each other work for it. In the end, it didn't look like it at first. It looked like Gotham was going to run away with it, early, but Run DMV showed a lot of heart, a lot of fight. And at this level, any level, that's what you want to see in your team. And if you're a scout looking at these players, especially on Run DMV side, those things you look for too. how do you handle a game when you're down big? Do you give up or do you fight back? Run DMV, fall back, and you love to see it.
Yeah, shout out that squad. They played very well, despite the loss. Take nothing from them. Give it all up for how they played. Charles Pinkert, 15 big points. Some great plays. Showed versatility. 3 for 4 from deep.
Yep.
Notable before we move on here, we shout out Keith Singleton and his great stat line there on his side. Nick Beal only played 12 minutes in this game. 10 points. But in their best performance this far of the year, Nick Beal was not a prime factor. He did score 10 points, but the heels of their run and their contest and their comeback was made on the back of some other guys. So just something to notice there.
Something to know for down the road, right? Let's get into our final recap, though. Lone Star versus Gulf Coast, final game of our SimWorld TV doubleheader last night, and this one did not disappoint at all.
No, it did not. We got the battle of what we wanted to see. The Lock and Key crew taking on King Lattimore, who has been definitively redefined and renamed as Big Daddy Lat. You saw him getting it going early on. This game was very contested in the first quarter. They finished head up defensive battle 12-12. Arthur Lattimore
my goodness.
was a huge part of that. Arthur Lattimore was getting it done on the offensive boards and making them pay on the inside there. And look at that, Edward Hamilton getting his lurch on. They finished up 12-12 at the end of that quarter. Lone Star, though, would go to town in the second quarter, and this is kind of where the difference was made. You saw Aiko Kasai with a big time shot there, but what you started to see was Nene Gibson miss, and Arthur Lattimore go to work on the inside with those offensive rebounds I was talking about. Lattimore finished with 22 and 7, but it seemed at times like he had 4,000 rebounds as we see him on the offensive glass there. Second shot attempt, Ronnie Shanahan, pew, pew, knocking it down, B-Ron. Pew, pew. The sound all children know, even though they're never taught. How is it? Arthur Lattimore again showing he can flash to the rack going by Ezekiel Bull B-Ron. B-Ron, Ronnie Shanahan and Arthur Lattimore combined.
Oh my goodness, man.
They combined for a total of 43 points responsible between the two of them.
Wow. And here's my guy Nene. Here's my guy Nene getting himself involved.
Nene finished with just 9 points, 4 of 14. Luckily, Lattimore was there to clean it up for him often. Yep. That's a big time block there from Nene. If Nene ever gets it going, Lone Star, it's going to be tough here. But on the other side, Gulf Coast hanging in there, 10-point game. There wasn't a whole lot shaking. There's Lattimore there again. Wasn't a whole lot shaking, staying on the board, but then they started to make a run like other teams do here in the third quarter. They won this one by 5 as Carson Cutbirth got going, dropping dimes, knocking down shots. Carson Cutbirth, we just see here, 2 of his 9, and then they were just hoping to hang around long enough. Man, do you see that dime, that beautiful pass?
Jeez,
He's such a pure passer. But they were hoping to hang around till the fourth quarter where they could make a run, B-Run.
Yeah. Man, a lot of these kids can really fly, and it always impresses me to see those kind of things like that. But yeah, Gulf Coast, you see it here. They're down 5 and like hanging around still. It's been the theme of the day, really. But it's hard to hang around when you feel like you're trading buckets constantly.
And especially giving up those free runs to the bucket really hurt them. The Lock and Key crew didn't look so great there. Aiko Kasai, man, split that double team. That's beautiful. We're going to see some Carson Cutbirth. No, we're going to see some Lane O'Neal. Cleaned up by Deontay Joyce. And that's what they made their run on Gulf Coast when they made their run was on the offensive glass as well. But see some handles here from Ezekiel Bull. That kid is 6'11", working out beyond the three-point line.
That's insane.
Showing a little something. Arkansas fans were in the house and they heard that. They saw that.
Very happy about that one.
Oh!
And there's some defense there from Lone Star.
Big Daddy Lat.
Yep, and that does it for that game as Lone Star knocks off Gulf Coast from the land of the unbeatens as well, bringing in their first loss of the season. 64-57 the final in this one. You mentioned in that second quarter was the biggest one. Gulf Coast only scored 9 points in that quarter. But to be fair, they came right back in the third and scored 22. So big turnaround on that side there. You love to see the effort though from Gulf Coast again. Someone had said in the in the stream last night that if Gulf Coast lost, the media was gonna have a field day and the sky was gonna fall and uh oh no, Gulf Coast lost the game. The season is over, guys. Coach Heesh, wrap it up. You guys are done for. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I'll make the rules. Chat said it,
Yep.
not me, man. Blame
Yep.
chat.
Yeah. Nothing else is
I'm
going
kidding.
on. The
No.
only thing that matters is Gulf Coast lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Hats
Everything is
off. Great
fine.
game to Lone Star.
Absolutely.
Moving on, there were a couple other games. Best Coast Ballers. They struggled last night, fell to beyond the arch. We
Yep.
also had Bad Boys were knocked off by the North. The North picking up their first win. So that's good news for them, B-Ron.
Yeah, absolutely. Good for them to get that first win and hopefully more to come for them. Akeem Young was
A
really
beast.
really good in
Yeah,
that game.
yeah.
Yes,
What did he
absolutely.
finish
Defending
that
away.
with?
He had a double-double.
No, not
It
just a double
was
double. Don't
it
you
was
dare. That man had 21 points,
21 points and 17
17
rebounds.
rebounds.
I was
How
getting there. I had
dare
to find it. I
you?
was getting there, man.
How dare you?
Look, that's a good day for and that was for him.
Yeah,
They need more of that from him, I think, if they want to have some success this season.
yeah, for sure.
Speaking of success, though, SimWorld Europe, 3-0, one of the undefeated teams left in the league. Are they as we've seen the season kind of start to develop, and we're seeing teams play games, that kind of stuff? Is this SimWorld Europe team the most dangerous team in the intercontinental region now that we've seen them actually play a few games?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
no,
my
I
answer.
yeah,
As I've said, I think everyone's seen me say it quite a few different places. My stance is when you know what the identity of a team is, when you can see it clearly, the players have bought into what their role is, and the team, the coaching style, and everything is being executed on the court feels comfortable and is clear with a clear identity. Those are the scariest teams, and what I see from Europe is, I mean, I can count it out. They know they have a couple of big guys who really get it done. They have a lot of other skilled players, but they're saying, hey,
yep,
we're running this through Ivanov and Suslov off the bench. Let's not forget
yep.
him. They're gonna dump it down there. They're gonna see if you're gonna double team. If you are, he's either gonna go to work or kick it back out to his shooters and let them decide. If you don't double team, he's going to punish you. They're going to get on the glass. If you're a defensive team that's been able to stop that and you can contain that, and they say, "Hey, let's go outside. We're going to run a 1-2 pick and roll with the 1-5 high out on the elbow with Ivanov or Suslov, and we're going to run it with Ty Merka, and you're going to have to figure that one out, and we'll rotate." But they have a clear, defined presence as far as what they want to do, B-Ron, and
Yeah,
it's led to wins.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and that's what makes this whole thing really great for them. And I came into the season saying, "Hey, I'm unsure about some of Europe. I didn't know what they'd be like because they had a lot of new faces in the team. I didn't know how they would gel together. So I was on record saying that, and now I'm on record saying, okay, I'm a believer now. You got me invested. You got me involved. It is okay to change your mind. Don't sit there and be stubborn in your ways, folks. You can change your mind when you see something that makes you go, hmm. Some of Europe made me go, hmm." And yeah, this was one of those things that okay, you got me invested now. So I'm excited to see how long they keep this up because I thought it was going to be APAC and some of Africa. I thought Europe might be the third best team. APAC hasn't won a game yet, and Africa's 1-2 right now. So both of those, it's still early on, still of course, but just something to keep in mind for down the road.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing how that intercontinental region goes though, as we start to get more deeper into the season here.
Yeah. I think they're the faves though, but I think that's been a region to kind of sleep on before. I
Yeah,
know these are new regions, but people kind of slept on the international teams. I think they're showing a little something.
that's the thing
They're
too.
trying
Yeah,
to make sure they shout out for my man, the Macho Man. That's all they're doing is holding down for the intercontinental region. Yeah. So yeah, they're holding it down, man.
perfect, perfect. Love to see it. Love to see it. Well, look, man, let's end the show talking about the league leaders and how anything that surprises us over there because we've seen a lot of a lot of players come in, make various impacts on various parts of the game. So, and looking at the league leaders, are any and have any one of them stuck out to you as a surprise or something you didn't expect?
Absolutely, absolutely. Ovin Carballo, Kola Abdul Rauf being in the league leaders in scoring. That's shocking for me. Um, I, I don't know if there's a lot
Yeah.
more it needs to be. I'm blown away. I know those kids can score, but them being given the opportunity. Then again, they've only played 2-3 games apiece. No shocker, Benari, Cole Webb, Nas Hall, Dylan Harper, Cooper Flagger up there. But that's big. That's big time to me. Bevison Patches, where he is
Yeah,
on
that
the
was one for
assist
me
leaders.
too.
Yep, big time.
That was one for me, exactly.
Yeah, Ryan
Um,
Toomey, I'd say him. He's kind of stood out for me on the defensive end on blocks per game. Um, I mean, those are the real standouts for me. I would
yeah,
expect by now. I'm shocked that I don't see Trey Hyman up there in the scoring leaders. I'm shocked that I don't see D'Angelo. But it's a long season. It is a very long season.
yeah.
Um,
Things
but I
will
don't. I don't
things
see
will
enough of
slow
Trey
down.
Hyman's name on this leaderboard.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things that surprises me just because of how difficult it is to do. I don't care what position you are on the floor. Robert McGee has made all his shots so far. And I know it's a minimum of 5, 5 attempts there on the list looking at it. But and he was Mr. Efficient last season. Uh, but to be perfect still through through 3 games, like again, I don't care where you're getting your shots from. I think in basketball, that's a hard thing to do is make all of your shots. So, like for me, that's surprising because of how difficult that is to do. In my personal opinion, that's just me. You can take that for what you will. You can say, oh, he's only shooting them from 5 feet out, or
Doesn't
he's always
matter.
under the basket or whatever. But it
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter. Yeah,
There's something
it
to
doesn't
be
matter.
said. He knows where his bread is fed, and he's making it work. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you guys for joining us this morning and all week. As always, we appreciate you all. Yells, it's Friday. I'm gonna let you do the outro, man. Take it away.
You know what it is. Thank you everybody for supporting. Appreciate everyone who was a part of the VU promo, sending in your video clips. Even though most of you sent in audio anyway, show your face. We want to see you guys. It's all good.
Yeah.
But we appreciate everybody that participated in any way. Appreciate you guys for following all of the shows we have here on SimWorld. Get my maestro on around the table. Blazing Takes, Marsh Pod, Off the Rim, SimWorld Today, our own good show here, Talking Dirty and Dirty Shorts, the J-Rock Show, and then tuning in for the post-up in between games. Appreciate you guys following all the streams, everything that you do. Continue to follow the streams, continue to spread the word. We need more coaches, we need more players, we need more good personalities who want to come in, have some fun, show off their basketball prowess, and most of all, people that would love nothing more than to see the game and to be the game. Have a great weekend.
Yep. We'll see you on Monday.
This has been a presentation of SimWorld Sports.